It's a lie. It's a lie, and then they wonder why relationships don't work out when they're built on this lie. Now, I promised you three things that would give you success in relationships, personal or business. I'm Linda Babulek. I'm a personal business strategist, which means I work with both the personal side and the business side. Think of me as the heart that connects the two together. You know, it's like the fibers in that orange, the Zest Your Life orange. It holds it all together. That's what I do, because we need to have both the personal and the business. So when I post, when I write, I try to have it applicable to both your personal and your business life. So I want to give you just three simple things to do that will really help every relationship you have. So the first thing is to love yourself. And what's the lie? The lie is that that's selfish. That blows me away. And it makes me so mad when I hear people, well, they're so selfish. And then in the very next breath, they talk about self-care. Well, what the hell do you think self-care is? It's about taking that moment for yourself. And then we put that negative connotation on it that it's selfish. I looked up the word selfish, and in fact, it says lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. That's self-care. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. And it's not selfish. Damnation. I wish to heck we'd just take that word right out of the dictionary. There could be other words we could use instead. Now they added in, that words like egocentric, egotistical, self-centered, self-regarding, self-absorbed may be better than saying you're selfish. So let's just forget that. Start loving yourself. That's step number one. That's the one thing you need to do to be successful in your relationships. The second thing that I've noticed, what do I know? I've been married for almost 5 decades to the same man. Hard to believe, eh? I know, we look at each other, we're like, what? Anyway, the second thing to think about is expectations. What do you expect to give in a relationship? What do you expect? What do you think you're obligated to give in a relationship? Let me tell you a little story. The other day, I was working in my office the other morning, and my husband came in, and he gave me a little pat on the shoulder. I was busy doing something here. And he said, good morning. I said, good morning. Just finished what I was doing. And then I thought about it. I thought, oh, is that the very best I could do? That's not a very nice thing. He gets up in the morning, makes a point of coming into my office and saying, good morning. Yeah, and I was self-absorbed, I'll tell you. I was absorbed in what I was doing, and I didn't think about his feelings. So and he was fine. He didn't notice 9 times out of 10 when he walks into my office, or used to, I'm going to say in the past, when he walked into my office, that's what I would do. But I'm turning over a new leaf because I noticed. That's the first thing. We need to notice and be aware of our own behaviors. So I promptly went downstairs, and he looked at me a bit funny, and I said, that wasn't a very nice good morning. I think I could do better than that. And I did. And he went, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice. So it's about the expectations. What do you expect to put into a relationship? And what do you expect to get from the relationship? I remember sitting around with some girlfriends years ago, and one of the gals was having some marital problems, a lot of challenges in her relationship. And one of the other gals said, well, that's not 50-50. And I went, well, just a minute. And they were all single. Well, the one giving the advice was single. I said, just a minute. Relationship's not about 50-50. And if you're going for 50-50 expectations, your relationship's not going to go very far. Because I know you have to give 100% all of the time. And if you can, try for 110. Do the very best you can. Show up your very best self in any relationship. Whether you're at Cafe Chino getting a coffee and Susan hands you your coffee and you just grunt or move or say thank you. But it's sort of nice when you look her in the face in the morning. She's on her feet all day making our coffee. Isn't it nice if we say good morning and really look at her and appreciate that she's there taking care of our coffee and our needs? It's a matter of expectation. She doesn't expect it. But isn't it nice when you exceed the expectations? Don't set your bar here, man. Set it way up there. Show up full. Show up full with your zest and everything ready to rip. That's 2, right? So number 1 is to love yourself first. Number 2 is to get really clear on what you expect in a relationship. Do you expect that, where you feel obligated to do all of the cooking? I know that's a big time-consuming thing for a lot of couples. And the wife, the woman, does most of the cooking. Now, I don't have that because my husband loves to cook and he's really good at it. In fact, he's out at the grocery store now. So, but think about that. What do you expect in a relationship? What roles will you each play? Or do you intermingle them? I mean, I could cook. I can't even find the grocery store now. So what do you expect? That's number 2. Number 3 I want to talk to you about is values. Values are extremely important. It's the very first thing I do with my clients. When we meet, we sit down, we do the values exercise. I did that at my You Are the Zest retreat for women. They loved it. Values guide us. And if you don't know what your values are, then how are you going to be guided? You may be guided by somebody else's values. That often happens when, you hear stories about people going to school, becoming a lawyer because their family valued that, but they didn't value it. And our values change. There was a time where lots of people smoked, way less people smoke. There was a time when people used to drink and drive, and there are probably still some that do, but a lot of people have stopped that nonsense. So it's really important for us to know our values. Here's an example. Imagine if one of your values is to read a book, a good book, like my book, Zest Your Life, A Taste of Inner Wisdom. #1 international bestseller. Just thought I'd slide that in. What if that's what you value? You value self-development and learning and reading books and going to the art gallery. And then you meet somebody and you find out that his values or her values, but you meet somebody and they value adventure. That's in their top 5 values. It's in your bottom. Out of 50 values that I'll give you, and I have cards too. I'm going to be putting them up for sale soon. So I have values cards. So what if that's in your bottom 5 and you don't value adventure? I remember a time on the ski hill when I was in the ski patrol, going down a very icy slope with a 200-pound man in the toboggan, and I'm doing the snowplow down the hill. My thighs are screaming, and I'm thinking, what the hell did I sign up for? It wasn't my idea of fun. I mean, some of those patrollers really got off on that. That's not the part of patrolling I enjoyed. Of course, not hard to guess. I like the relationships and talking to everybody and meeting people. So just get really clear on what your values are and review your values often. So the values are in my book. And there's a list there, but like I mentioned, we'll talk about cards another time. So it's 3 things to remember, and I hope they're valuable to you. Tell me what you think. Drop me a note in the comments. 3 things that will set up your personal and your business relationships. Number 1, love yourself. Nobody's going to buy from you if you don't love yourself and you're breathing all shallow and you come in, and did you mind buying this from me? Nobody wants to do business from anybody like that. So love yourself. Be selfish. If you have to say it, go ahead. Be selfish. And then you want to have clear expectations. in your business. What do the people that work with you expect? What do you expect from your business to give you? And the third thing, of course, is your values. What are your values at work? And what are your values in your personal life? If you want to know more, just drop me a line, linda@lindababulik.com. I love connecting with people. Have a very zesty, happy Saint Valentine's Day. You know, we don't have that many Saint days anymore. So do connect with me and have a great day. I'm wearing red in honor of, on top of my orange, in honor of Valentine's Day. And I like Valentine's Day. Do you want to know a little secret? That's when my son started. Yes, he was conceived on Valentine's Day. That's why he's a November baby. So people that are born in November, you know where you all started. Thank you. Bye.